Welcome back to part 13 of the Bugatti Bolide. And in the last tutorial, we created some of the surfaces here. All right, and then in this tutorial, we're going to continue with creating the surfaces here and on the lower section, the air inlet over here. There's going to be some spline works on both ends of these surfaces, and we're going to add some fillets, and we're going to attack this surface here. All right, so let's have a look at some picture here. So as we can see, we're going to add the surface here, and then it's going to be a cutoff over here that we're gonna start, and then we're going to do some spline work in the front here and in the back of this inlet here that cools the wheels. All right, so let's get to that. So the first thing we're going to do is so we're going to jump on the top of this car here, and then we're going to grab a 3D sketch, and it's going to be a 3D spline, and the 3D spline we're going to grab it from this corner and then drop it on this edge. Right, exit the sketch, and then just jump into the front of it, and yeah, we're not going to add any profile on that one, but let's have a look at the small cutoff from the side. So look, that looks straight enough. All right, good. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to surfaces and exit this small 3D sketch from there, and we're going to knit together these two surfaces here. Okay, and then what we're going to try is we're going to go to boundary surface and click on the right click and selection manager, and we're going to select this edge and press OK on that, and then selection manager again, and we're going to choose this edge and press OK. All right, and then we're going to pull this back to about here until we see the black dot, and of course we're going to pull this line back over this point. Okay, and that will create something like this for us. Okay, and at this point we can see how our surface is going to play out over here. Okay, we're not going to add any tangency because these surfaces are created here, so we're just going to press OK. And that small corner here, we're going to add some fillets on that one. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is go to boundary surface, and then again selection manager, and we're going to select this one, and then select this one here. So again, boundary surface, selection manager, and this one, press OK, and this one small surface here. We're going to flip these connectors, and we're going to pull this down to about here. And zoom in from this side, and that's right on that edge. Okay, and that completes that surface. Okay, and we will cut this section out over here, of course, all the way to here, because there's a gap in the vehicle here, which we're gonna cut out for the air inlet again. All right, so we have this surface here, and now what we're going to do is we are going to Well, first we need to delete this mirror here because we want to mirror over onto that one. So delete this mirror. Alright, and we will mirror over the new created one once we finish with it. Alright, so we're going to connect together this surface and this one that we just created. And let's not forget this small piece here. Alright, and then we're gonna go to fillets, and we're going to do a face fillet. And for this box, we're going to choose this face. And for the next box, we're going to choose all these faces. And we're going to turn them inside these arrow points. Okay, and then we're going to do a 2 on that. So let's maybe try 3, how that looks. The 3 is probably better. So let's choose 3. Alright, so 3 looks pretty good. Alright, and again, we're going to choose a fillet. And then this time, just let's try a normal fillet. And on this fillet, let's try 3 on this small piece here. Okay, and then let's make that into 20 millimeter. That's probably too much, so let's try 10. No, let's try 5 on that. And now that small piece is almost completely gone. All right, so that's what we're going to do with this one here, with this surface, and then we probably come back. We probably come back in the future. Let's just try something here. Delete this fillet here, and let's try a face fillet. Face fillet, and let's choose this face, and then this face, and let's turn them inside. And that does not register. Let's fillet. Alright, so we're just gonna have to go with the normal fillet. So let's see if we can do 5 on that. 8 maybe. 7. 6. Yeah, 6 is the most, so we're gonna leave it at 6. We can always cut it out and then fill the up to make it a little bit better. Obviously, we can come back later on and fix up this surface if we are not happy with the rendering. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this surface here. Okay, so the one more surface I want to try to add here is a fillet here around this area, not too much. So we're gonna go to again fillets, and we're gonna try just a normal fillet. And probably 6 is not possible, so 1 or 2. So let's just do 1, and I think 1 is perfect. It gives a nice edge on that. Perfect. All right, so that looks good. And then we're not going to connect this to the body yet because we still have to mirror it over, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the circular out of the inlet is coming in here, and the out that cooling the wheel is gonna come out over here. So we're gonna go to sketches and then 3D sketch and then 3D spline, and we're gonna grab it from this corner, and then we're just gonna do a bunch of points. And then we're gonna go all the way up to here, this edge area here. Okay, and then we're just going to jump to the front, and we're just going to fix this up, and we're going to add our control polygons on them. Click on them to highlighted, and then we're going to jump over our first display state so we can see things a little bit better here. All right. So let's just pull this in. Something like that. Let's create a corner for us. And on down here, what I want to do is I want to click on this edge here. Oh, I don't need that line here, so let's hide that. Okay, so I want to click on this edge and then hold control and click on the line and make that tangent. So now we have a tangency with these two lines here. Okay, so let's jump back in the front and then continue editing this, inlet or outlet area. Right. Okay, we can probably pull this a little bit more closer there. Pull this up a little bit less of a corner on that one. All right, so let's jump on the side, fix it up from the side. All right, so we want to pull this about here. And we just want to straight this area out here. Okay, and then we just come up here and have a look at that. All right, so we're just going to jump on the top as well and fix it up from the top. Okay, so it needs to be a bit more straighter in that direction. So we kind of have to move it towards this way. Have a look. So it's starting to come into shape. Just need to pull this line towards here. Let's have a look at from here. It's almost our spline. So basically, I think you can see the idea that I'm going for here. I guess we need to make the lower part straight as well to here. This direction, I think it needs to be like that. Okay, let's have a look at from the side. Yeah, so I guess instead we're going to follow this edge here actually. This we're going to follow this arch. All right. Just have a look from the top. This is almost for straight. So it's really is it's a little bit of spline work on these two edges. Again, let's pull this back to be on that wheel arch. And then I think that looks good from this angle. That's the maximum we're going to do with this one here. So let's just have a look from the front again. So the top looks good. And the bottom is now to pull this down a little bit more so we have that curvature defined. Put us a little bit closer maybe so we don't have that much okay, so that's exactly what we're looking for now. And then let's have a look at from the side again. Just make sure that we are on that wheel arch, and we are. And that one looks good. Let's have a look again. The lower section that we're not going to catch into that part, so we are not good. Alright, so exit the sketch. And then we're going to start our brand new 3D sketch. And then that brand new one first, we're going to drop a 3D point somewhere about here. And then we're going to jump into the front and make sure we have that point where it needs to be. So let's drop that point somewhere about here. Alright, and then we're going to jump over to our second display state. And then we're gonna create a 3D spline. And 3D spline with a lot of points as well. So click on the X corner here and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 on that point. Alright. And now we're just gonna fix that curvature up. So click on that curvature, add our control polygons. Click on the point so it's visible, and then we're going to jump back into our first display state here. And then we're just going to fix up this spline here with all these control points that we have. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to click on this edge and hold Control and click on this line and add our tangency. And get back on the lines here. And then we're just gonna pull this down a little bit, just a little bit lower than the first one. Yeah, so just about there. About there, we don't want to get it too much lower, just to make sure that we will have that curvature down. All right, and now we're just going to align these control points. And we can still move that point around where we want that thing to fall in. Of course, we will jump it on the top as well to make sure that we are on target with this curvature. A little bit of corner here, I guess, like that. Okay, and then let's fix it up from the side. Let's pull these points into position as well. Yeah. So pull that here. And pull this point up to have a little bit of corner. And then pull this about here. And then we will have a nice corner on this from this view as well. So yeah, it's a little bit of spline work, of course, but again, the better your splines are, the better your surface is going to be. And it's gonna fall to about here. And now we're just going to straighten out this curvature from the top, right? So it's going to fall into about there, which is good. And then we're going to follow along this line here. We're just going to straighten out in this direction. Pull this. That looks good over here. Okay, so that's almost looking good. And then we have to come back onto the front again on the side to fix them up, of course, because pull this line over here. And then go from the side again. All right. And then we're gonna jump back again from the top to make sure that we are straight, and then kind of straight. Fix up some, so that looks good from the top. And again, let's just double check everything from the side. So we're looking good from the side. And let's go back to the front here. Alright, and we're looking good from the front as well. And then our line is pretty straight. So that's gonna be our inlet. And then we have our outlet that's cooling the tire. So let's get from this side as well. Okay, we're gonna leave this as is, and then just double check here that nothing's touching that side. And then one more thing I want to add here is another 3D sketch. Another 3D sketch here. I want to point as well somewhere. 3D sketch from this point to that point, and exit that one. And I want to add another 3D sketch from the mid section here to that midpoint over there, and I want to jump onto the top. I want to give this line a very nice profile. So the profile is going to fall in this direction, not that direction. It's going to fall this direction here. Okay, and then just have a look at that one. That looks good. Okay, and now let's try and create a surface here. And it's going to be a lot better surface than the last time we created. So let's go to boundary surface and let's select this end, and then let's select this end here. And for direction 2, we're going to select this line here and this line. And then let's select this edge as well. Okay, and press OK. So okay, all right, so our surface looks good, but we have a little bulginess here which we need to fix up. So we're going to make a sketch on this surface here, and the normal to profile. Let's flip this around, and this line is going to be about here, like that. Alright, and let's see how that line trims. Pull it back to about here, and let's go to surfaces and trim tool, and that's our trim tool. And what we want to trim out is this section here. We need to pull this line just a little bit more closer. You're going to trim a little bit more closer to the edge. And then surfaces and trim surface, and then we're going to trim this part off. Not trim off, but trim back. Okay, So now we're just going to do a boundary surface between this edge and then this edge here. And we're going to add tangency to face on here and tangency to face on here. And we have a look at that. Maybe we can pull this down just to add a little bit more. About there, and have a look at the surface. And that's a lot better surface. Now there's no bulgingness that's bulging out from that surface out. Instead, it looks like one surface. And it looks the bottom one and the lowest one, the low one, it looks good as well. Alright, so that's exactly the surface that we should have created in the first time as well around, but now we managed to create it. Alright, so let's save our project now. Alright, and once it's saved, we're going to connect together this surface, and this surface. Alright, and then next thing we need to do is we need to cut out some of this area here. If you look at some of the pictures that we have, it's basically cut out. We have the cutout for the air inlet. We have the cutout all the way to here, so there's a cutout in between those in this area here. Okay, so to do that, we need to drop our glass appearance on there. So let's drop our glass. So glass appearance, and then let's add a blue glass on that. And then we're going to create a sketch on this plane here, the front view. And we can see already how our cutout, how it plays out. Okay, so that cutout is starting from here to here. And then the cutout, going to cut this out. Let's remove this glass appearance first to see what surfaces we have. So I'm going to cut that out from that point. Yeah. From the front. Yeah, so we're going to use the first highlighting lines, and it's not connected together, so it will be good. So let's draw back our glass appearance in the car. And this is the first line that we're going to use. So exit the sketch just to make sure that we are going to be in the right sketch. So make a sketch on the front here. And we're going to convert this edge here. And we're going to make a line. We're going to make a line, a cutout line from here up. And another one from all the way from here. We want to be perpendicular with this one. The way up here. Exit the sketch. And we're going to remove this gross appearance. And we're going to come in here and jump over to surfaces, trim surface, and we already have our trim tool. And we want to trim out this inner section, not this upper section. I guess we need to edit our sketch here. So edit sketch, front view, and let's trim back this one and this one here. Okay, and let's go to surfaces now and try trim out these inner parts here. There we go. And I will trim out this whole section there. Perfect. All right, so that's the surface we were looking for. All right, perfect. So let's jump over to our second display state here. Second display state, and then let's see if we need to add anything to that surfaces. No, we don't. So we can just mirror it over. But before we mirror it over, we're gonna cut back some from this surface here. So we need to jump into the first display state and make a sketch on the front plane normal to profile. And we're going to throw back our glass appearance on this body here. Okay, so basically all we need, actually, we want to add it to the whole thing. Remove the glass appearance, add it to the whole thing. Alright. So all we need is coming from, we're gonna come from this corner all the way down here, and then we're going to trim all the way down here like that. So first we're going to add a curvature, a curve, starting from this line here, somewhere about here, and then down on this edge about here. Exit the sketch, and we're gonna pull this into position. Make sure that we are kind of perpendicular with this edge here. Just need to pull this a little bit out. Make sure that it's the same distance between those two. Okay, and then let's add a line from here to that edge. Okay, and then we're just gonna bring this down here and connect with this one here. Exit the sketch. Press OK, and then surface is trim surface, and we're gonna get rid of this part here. Okay, so that completes that surface there. So let's jump into our second display state, and let's complete that corner there. All right, so let's mirror this over now to the other end. Mirror face plane is going to be the front plane, and the body mirror is going to be this whole thing over here. All right, so that's the surface we were trying to create at the first and in the first place. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then if you're just tuning into my channel, make sure you follow my channel from part 1 all the way up to when the project is finished. And please subscribe to my channel, and then that helps me a lot. All right, thanks very much for staying with me, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.